You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Olympic Peninsula Wedding Venues, episode number 134.
So the next stop on our series of wedding venues is the Olympic Peninsula here in Washington State.
And you know Kim and I's love. Mine and Kim's. Kim and I. Kim and me.
Hey, we both love it.
Our love for the Olympic Peninsula. So we decided to search out, or Kim decided to search out venues. I've been too busy lately. I'm sorry.
We may not have visited all of these places, but we have visited their websites and plenty of pictures. But, there's mountains, there's rainforests, there's ocean, there is, I wouldn't say cities.
Towns. Quaint towns.
Lakeside. I mean, it has everything, and it's beautiful. Right. Beautiful. And I think any of these places would make perfect destination weddings.
And most of the venues that we have on here right now are for smaller, intimate weddings.
Yes. They do have larger ones, I think, like in Port Angeles.
Yeah.
But I think these are just prettier. I don't know. I just love these. Anyway.
These are the ones that we liked.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we're telling you about them.
So the first one is Lost Mountain Lodge. And it's in the town of Sequim.
Don't laugh when you say that.
Well, I mean, it just takes us back to when we first came up here to visit.
Yes.
And we were driving through the town of Sequim. Mm-hmm. And we're like, oh, Sequim.
Because it's spelled Sequim.
Sequim.
But that's not how you say it.
It's called Sequim. Anyway, so Lost Mountain Lodge can accommodate 50 guests for an outdoor day event or 40 inside.
They have indoor space in case the weather is not cooperating, which is very likely.
You're on the Olympic Peninsula, people.
Yeah. And if it's winter, of course, you can still have one inside.
Yeah. The entire lodge must be booked for a minimum of 2 nights for your event. So just keep that in mind.
Right. And being that it's a lodge, there's places to stay and stuff like that. Of course, any of these places are really pretty. Sequim is known for lavender fields. They have a big lavender festival in July. So, if that's something that you're looking for, you might consider it. It's right on the water. Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, so you have to think about it as the inlet water. And right across from that water is Canada. So it's really a unique place.
All right.
The next one is called NatureBridge. And this one's in Port Angeles, just right down the road. Mm-hmm. Port Angeles has a lot of wedding venues. We just wanted to hit one here that was kind of unique.
Yeah. So it can accommodate up to 150 guests. This is one of our largest venues on our list today. Mm-hmm. It's also on the shores of Lake Crescent, which is one of our most favoritist places.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
The water is so clear, so cold, and you can see to the bottom of the water. I mean, it's
one of the most picturesque lake I've ever seen in my life. You can find the indoor and outdoor space that best suits your needs because they're, like you said, on the shores of Lake Crescent, and then they have Rosemary Inn. So there's a couple of different areas where you can have your ceremony.
Yeah, indoor or outdoor. They can supply all food needs from rehearsal dinner to Sunday breakfast.
Yes, I thought that was so cool.
Right. So you don't need to have outside caterers come in or anything. They can do all of your food and drink.
They've renovated the lodge. They have outdoor spaces. They have a really cool, simple classroom. And then, of course, they have a conference building if you want to have a, I would say more of like a ballroom type thing.
Yeah. So, and it has lodging too. So you can all stay there. Yeah. You don't have to go back to the city.
That's right. Which would be quite a drive. A couple hours.
The next one is Manresa Castle. And it's in Port Townsend, Washington.
Has a picturesque rose garden and Victorian wood-paneled library. And I thought, oh, Shannon will love this. And, of course, you have to keep it small, 25 to 75 guests, depending on which area you choose. But let me tell you what, that library looks awesome. It's like going back in time. It's just very Victorian, and I don't know. I just think it's the perfect spot for a really small, intimate wedding.
And it looks awesome.
It does.
I mean, it's literally a castle with turrets and towers and things like that. So,
yes.
love it. Anyway.
They do have a big banquet room. I wouldn't say big. They have a banquet room. I think that's where you can seat the 75.
Right. The castle is also a hotel. So if you want to stay, your wedding night there, you can.
Mm-hmm. Have a little honeymoon, which I totally suggest. Stay there.
And then
just
go.
Check it out over there. Because, again, you can find the waterfalls. You can go sit in Solduck. Hot Springs. You can visit. You can watch the sunset off the ocean.
On Rialto Beach.
I mean, you've got... Okay, we're just, doing a commercial here for...
Let's do a commercial for Olympic Peninsula.
I mean, seriously.
Board.
I mean, if you haven't... Go.
And I'm so sad I can't go there before I leave. It's making me so sad. But I'll have to come back.
Guess you'll have to, yeah.
We'll have, I always come back to see Kim anyway. You know that. Anyway.
So our next one is called Weddings by the Sea in Ocean Shores, Washington, which we've been to Ocean Shores.
Mm-hmm. Ocean Shores is a very unique place.
It is. As is everything here.
They have packages for very small weddings up to 40 guests. And it includes officiant and decor.
That's right. And you can choose your beach location. It's a long beach, so there's plenty of places.
And it's a wide beach most of the time.
Yeah, when the tide's out. But, it's... Okay, so there's sand, but I don't remember it being, like, super sandy. It was more of a compact type
and
sand.
it wasn't filled with logs like all the rest of them.
That's right.
They were all more up north.
Yes. All the driftwood is, up north. Yeah. You're right. I forgot about that. And it's unique in that you can drive up onto the beach.
Right.
And you can get stuck, but you can also drive up onto the beach.
And please, when you drive on the beach, drive far away from the water.
Yes. You don't want to be there when the tide comes in.
Just FYI. So before we move on, we want to thank our sponsor, shop.the.city.
If you are looking for a unique way to spend some time with your bridesmaids, check shop.the.city out.
Let Shop the City bring you to the best shops in the city.
Our next one, Port Ludlow Resort in Port Ludlow, Washington. That's hard, Ludlow.
It's the ideal setting for your intimate destination wedding.
They have a farm-to-table rehearsal dinner. How fun is that?
And if you want to know more about Farm to Table, listen to our past episode about Farm to Table weddings.
That's right.
Also, it has a bridal getaway or groom's golf retreat. So you can do your bachelorette parties there if you want. That sounds cool. Port Ludlow has scenic views from water to mountains.
Yes.
From all of that. And it also has their own catering. They have an award-winning chef there. So, make it. And also, we saw that you can take the seaplane from Kenmore there, so you can ride on a seaplane.
Yeah, that would be fun. Or you could maybe leave on the plane. That'd be a good getaway, right? I mean, very unique. And so they have a banquet room. It's called the Olympic Room, and it can hold up to 60 guests. And then they have smaller rooms also for 20 guests if you want to do really intimate. And outdoor and indoor places, ceremony sites. The next one is Seabrook Town Hall in Pacific Beach, Washington. I have been to Seabrook, and it's a really cute little town. It's like you feel like you're out in the nowhere, and then bam, there's this little bitty town, and it looks, and I guess it's fairly new, so everything is kind of updated, but it's very beachy, and they have a little bitty town center with some shops and some restaurants and things like that. But I guess in the town hall, you can get married. Find that.
It's a cute town hall.
It's such a cute little town, too. Oh, they also have bikes that you can rent or use. I can't remember if you have to rent them or just use them all over. So you can just bike all over town. So you don't have to drive. It's not that big that you would have to drive everywhere.
So the town hall features seating for 100. They also allow you to use their audio-video system with microphones for your lapel or cordless. They also have beautiful hardwood floors and a full bar and commercial catering kitchen. That does not mean that they provide catering. They just have the kitchen there, so you can bring in catering.
That's right. And it's really cute, like a little chapel,
It's one of those little quaint. Think of the town in the Truman Show.
Yes.
Kind of that kind of town.
Yes.
But you're not going to be filmed.
No. Well, hopefully not.
Well, not all of your, you're not going to be totally filmed all the time. But yeah, it's kind of one of those towns.
That's right. It's super cute. It really is. And you can stay there. I mean, there's all these houses that are rental houses that you can just rent, and you could stay there for your honeymoon too. And it's right on the beach and beautiful sunsets. I mean, it's ridiculous, of course. Yeah. Just like the rest of it.
Okay, the next one is Lake Quinault Lodge, and they have weddings there too. And it's in the Olympic National Forest. It's right on the lake.
Who doesn't want to get married in the forest?
And Lake Quinault Lodge is gorgeous. It's weathered, old gray, like cedar tile lodge, and it's just a gorgeous place. So
you can seat up to 100 guests, and they have romantic lakeside celebrations there. You could get married on the lakeside.
Yeah, and the grand ballroom is nothing but like local timber and things like that. So you get a lot of local flair there.
Exactly. I just want to drive over there right now. Let's go. And our last one is
the Kalaloch Lodge, and it's in Forks, Washington, kind of. It's in that area.
It's in the outskirts.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
So ceremonies can be hosted at the gazebo in front of the bluff cabins. You can have outdoor receptions with a maximum guest count of 50.
I would say this is probably the most rustic of all of these. Mm-hmm. They can provide chairs, tables, and linens, but you have to bring in everything else pretty much.
And of course, it is in the national park, so you have to abide by all of their rules.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. You can do indoor receptions, but you can only have a maximum of 20 people.
Right. It's not a very large lodge.
No.
But it's gorgeous.
And it's rustic. Again, if you're looking for that rustic feel and look, this would be one of our top picks for that. So in the show notes, you can go to the website, and that would be fromringtovail.com/134 to see the show notes. We will have links to each and every one of these, so you can just go to the show, click on the link, and look at the pictures for yourself. If you're listening on your device, your iPhone or any other smartphone, you can click on the show notes, the description, see the full description. Those links will be right there for you too, so you can click on those and it'll take you straight over to each of these venues.
We love emails from our listeners. We just got this one in while we were talking. We're going to answer this one for her. Her name is Erin Suris, and she's asking about winter wedding decorations. Her fiance and her are having to compromise because he doesn't like the Christmas theme stuff.
Full blown, she said.
Yeah. But she does. And so they're doing like a Christmas or a winter forest theme. But with green and red. So, I mean, right now we live in the Pacific Northwest and it's green all the time.
That's right.
And we have wonderful evergreen trees. I mean, I would contact your floral supplier or if you're having a florist and see if you can get evergreens and have them thoroughly incorporated into your wedding. They can be in your bouquets. They could be in your centerpieces. They could be made into runners on tables.
Yes.
I mean, they can be made into anything.
That's right. You could even, if you're doing an arbor, you could even put them up there. Right. I mean, anywhere that you put your florals, you can put evergreen, branches and
evergreen boughs.
You can even bring in the pine cones.
Right.
And have them painted red and green.
And if you're doing like a winter theme, you can get some of that spray foam, spray snow.
Yes, that's right.
Spray on stuff. Mm-hmm. Or even, people paint pine cones all the time. Yeah. Spray paint them white.
Red and green or white.
I know you said red and green.
All three colors, I think.
I'm not a big fan of the traditional Christmas red and green, the bright red and the green. Mm-hmm. If you like red and green, maybe go more toward the burgundy side and bring that in because it's not a traditional Christmas red.
And a forest green.
Yeah. So, I mean, compromise with your fiance because, it's his day too.
That's right.
But I love to use evergreens in anything.
Right. So we're talking decorations.
Right.
So of Christmas twinkle lights.
Yes.
I mean, that's quintessential.
Yeah. Kim is all twinkle lights.
Yes. And, Christmas lights too. So, I mean, I would even bring in some Christmas trees if you can. You could use that as kind of your arbor, quote unquote, flank your ceremony there. And then you could bring them into the reception area. You could do mini trees, wrapped in, I don't want to say burlap, but burlap. But you can always wrap them with something else, and make it match.
There's so much ribbon, so much color around the Christmas time. Mm-hmm. If you want to make it more of a white Christmas kind of theme, gossamer fabric, gauzy white fabric, hiding the Christmas lights.
Right. Yes, that would be really pretty.
Them. And, hang, if in your reception area, if you have like an ugly wall somewhere, hang some gossamer fabric, some nice flowy tulle or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Organza.
Put, something that's see-through so they can see the lights through it and just hang that on the wall and have that. And then have all of your evergreen boughs and your garlands and all of this stuff all hanging around. I mean, it doesn't have to be Christmas bulbs and gaudy Christmas decorations.
It doesn't have to be. It can be really
It could be really simple and elegant. You can just have the evergreens laying on the table. Have candles.
Yes. It's simple.
Yes.
That's very simple.
So I mean, don't go overboard. Do simple elegance. That's my one piece of advice. Simple and elegant, understated.
And I think we've done this before, where you put Epsom salt in the vase, and then you put a candle in there, and it looks snowy.
Yep,
so pretty.
Yeah, I do that all the time on my tables. When I do tablescapes for Christmas,
that's really pretty. Hopefully, this helps you. And thank you for the email. We really appreciate it.
Candles. That's my thing.
And lights.
So thanks so much, Erin. So as you all know, I am moving. Well, by the time this one comes out, I would have already moved.
Yes.
Because today is July 5th. So we just got through with the 4th of July celebration around here.
That's right.
And we are leaving on the 15th. So by the time this comes out, which is at the end of the month, I will be already in Texas, melting from the heat.
Good luck with that.
Looking for houses. So that's where I'll be. We are going to have a guest host with us for August. She's taken my place for a while. Her name is Kate Gansneeder, and she's one of our greatest friends. She's also a photography guru.
That's
so
right.
I'm sure you'll be talking about photography.
I'm sure we will. We'll have a couple of discussions, I'm sure. So yeah, while Shannon is getting settled, and hopefully she'll find a house and move in by the time it's time to start recording again with Shannon. If not, she'll just be recording from her apartment, hotel, whatever it is that she's living in.
And it's an apartment, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with me, my husband, 2 kids, and a dog.
Yeah.
Yay.
So, just kind of giving you a heads up as to what's happening and why and when. Let's hope that Shannon gets there safely and gets into her place soon so that she can start recording with me and not have to have any issues with it. Just make sure you have good internet, okay?
Yeah, I will. And we'll probably have some, Texas information as well. So we'll bring Texas into our Pacific Northwest things that we've done. So we'll probably talk about Texas venues and Texas vendors, and we'll get... So, I mean, if you're in Texas and you want to shout out to say hi to me, do it.
Yeah, that's, as we're doing our around the U.S. venues.
Yeah.
More probably our next stop will be
Texas. Austin.
Yeah, Austin area.
Right now. So.
But, I mean, there's going to be Houston and Dallas and the Amarillo area, that maybe
San Antonio.
El Paso, all that kind of stuff. So we have lots of venues to share with you. So be looking for those later in the year. I guess that's all the upkeep we need to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Remember, you can reach us anytime by emailing info@fromringtovail.com. We will answer questions, hopefully on the air, and as soon as possible.
Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher.
And until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.
What's that movie with what's his face in it when he's in the town and they filmed his every...
I have no idea.
They filmed his every move. What is that movie?
Oh, I was just thinking about that yesterday. Truman Show.